All right, let's dive into a challenge that every single creator, designer, or builder faces. How do you actually get inside the head of your audience? Today, we're going to break down two of the best tools in the entire toolkit for doing just that: personas and empathy maps. Let's get right into it. You know, everything really boils down to this one question, doesn't it? How in the world do you build something that's useful, that feels good to use, maybe even something people love, for a person you've probably never met? A person whose daily life and biggest headaches you can only guess at. This is the fundamental problem that can absolutely make or break whatever you're creating. Because when you're designing in a vacuum, without a really clear picture of who you're building for, you're not really designing, you're guessing. You're just building on your own ideas, your own habits, your own needs. And let me tell you, that is a massive risk. And the result of all that guesswork? It's usually a product that just misses the mark. Sure, it might work on a technical level, but to the user, it just feels clunky or confusing. It doesn't solve their real problem, and that creates frustration for the very people you were hoping to help. So how do we get out of this trap? Well, our first tool for getting out of that trap is the user persona. This is all about taking that vague, abstract concept of the user and making it into a concrete, relatable person that your whole team can actually get behind. Now, there are a couple of really important words on this slide: realistic and based on real user research. This is the key. A persona isn't some character you just make up on a whim. No. It's a composite sketch, an archetype that you build from the data, the interviews, and the observations you've gathered from lots of real people. This is probably the easiest way to wrap your head around it. You know how an author creates a super detailed profile for their main character before they even write the first page? It's exactly like that. You give your user a name, a face, a backstory. You make them feel real. And these right here are the building blocks of that profile. You've got the basics, a name, a photo, just to make them feel like a real human. But the real magic, the real power, is in understanding their goals. What are they trying to accomplish? And their pain points. What's constantly getting in their way? That's where you find the golden opportunities to build something that actually helps. And something as simple as a quote can be the most powerful part of the whole thing. It just crystallizes the persona's entire reason for being into one easy-to-remember sentence. This becomes the team's North Star. Every time you have to make a decision, big or small, you can just ask, does this help this person achieve this goal? Okay, so if a persona gives us the who, our next tool, the empathy map, is all about the what. It's about taking that character and zooming way in on a specific moment in their life, in their mind. The key phrase here is during a specific experience. See, while a persona is that big, holistic view of a person, an empathy map is more like a snapshot. It's a tool for getting inside their head during one critical moment. Let's say, for example, your persona is using your app for the very first time. Or maybe they're trying to complete a checkout on your website and something goes wrong. The empathy map is the tool you pull out to break down that single scene from their point of view. And this is the classic layout. It's so brilliant because it forces you to look beyond the surface. I mean, what a user says out loud might be totally different from what they're actually thinking, right? And what they do, every click, every pause, every time they go back, that tells you so much about what they're feeling. Are they confused, frustrated, or are they delighted? This gives you that full 360-degree view of their experience. Okay, so we've got these two really powerful tools. Let's put them side by side. How do they actually stack up against each other? What is the real difference here? This chart lays it all out perfectly. And look, if you remember just one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. A persona answers who you are designing for. An empathy map answers what that person is experiencing in a single moment. The persona is the character, the empathy map is the scene. One's foundational, the other's situational. Simple as that. But here's the thing. This isn't actually about picking a winner. The real magic, the real breakthrough, happens when you realize these tools aren't fighting each other at all. They're actually partners. And this is the big takeaway. You don't pick one or the other. You use them together. That's how you build a deep, layered understanding of your user that is both broad and incredibly specific at the same time. So here's how that partnership can actually work. You can start by taking all your notes from interviews with real users and just organizing their quotes and actions into one giant empathy map. The patterns you start to see there, the common thoughts, feelings, and frustrations, that becomes the raw material you use to build a believable, data-driven persona. And then you can take that new persona and drop them into a new situation with a new empathy map to predict how they might think and feel. It's this awesome, powerful cycle. 2 tools. That's it. One gives you the person, the other gives you the moment. And when you put them together, they give you a level of clarity and empathy that is absolutely essential for creating anything great. So the next time you use a product that just feels perfect, like it was made just for you, or you use one that's a total pain, think about this. Ask yourself, did the people who made this really understand who they were building for? Because now you have the tools to make sure you do.